Thank you very much. I've enjoyed the evening, but towards the end you say to say a few words. My question is, why a few words? If you want me to give a keynote address, I would have given you a full keynote address. I have a speech ready, but I'm not going to use that text. I'm going to speak from the heart, okay? And I'm going to say some things to you. Some of you may be surprised. Those of you who know me will say, well, this is what he is normally like. First and foremost, I've had a very long association with the Hindu group, and I don't mean the one I'm coming from, but this guy is here. Out of their 147-year history, I have been in active touch with them for at least 47 of those years. I was just thinking back. There was a time when I was a young undersecretary. Lakshmi and I joined the Foreign Service in '74. I remember when we came back after our first posting in Tokyo in 1978, there was a gentleman called Mr. G.K. Reddy, who was the Hindus correspondent in Delhi. He was an institution. And we used to all want to be friendly with him because this was, remember, the time of, Mrs. Gandhi and Mr. Vajpayee and all those people. And then Narasimha Rao was the foreign minister at that time. Because I came to the conclusion early in life that if you wanted to know really what was happening in the government, get hold of somebody who can invite G.K. Reddy for a drink in the evening. He'll tell you the next foreign posting ambassador, kaun kahin ja raha, he would tell you. And when he used to publish the list, it had more credibility than the Government of India's notification. So I belong to that era. Suddenly somebody sent me a message just now. I'll tell you that I have a lot of friends who are into this. Somebody sent me a message saying that, the event which you are attending just now, he said, my friend K. Venugopal, Chairman, Kasturi and Sons is attending your event. Please say hello to him when you leave. I said, what the hell? I didn't need any encouragement from this batchmate of mine who was an IAS officer, and who was a great friend of mine. I would say hello to him in any case. But anyway, that's how I look back and reflect. Look, 2 or 3 things I want to tell you. I think these awards are truly remarkable. And they're remarkable for a variety of reasons. One is that these honor change makers. But a lot of people honor a lot of change makers where a certain element of subjective assessment comes in. I think you are a great guy. The other person might think so-and-so is a great guy. We can have a difference of opinion. Here, one of the defining characteristics of what makes these awards special is that you receive nominations from your readers. And I'm told by the editor sitting on my right that you had 1,900 nominations this year for 6 categories of awards. Now, that's in and of itself, if you are a student of, continuity and change, and I am, and I'm going to tell you something about continuity and change in a minute, give you my 2 bits on it. You can't go wrong. Because if the nominations are coming from the readers and the readers are observing those changes over a period of time, then whether it is preservation and giving onions, which are a very volatile political agricultural crop. I mean, you know that. But somebody who comes in there, who may have studied computer science somewhere else, but studies the experience on the ground, is able to come up with a solution, develop the solution, and then commercially market the solution. I mean, I think it's absolutely on the spot and brilliant. We came to, what was this called? Vidya Lokha. And I think what the gentleman said here, I think Anil, absolutely spot on. He said, if you want to be a Viksit Bharat, or rather the other way around, you'll never become a Viksit Bharat unless you go education. One of my favorite lines, I was Housing and Urban Affairs Minister for 7 years, and a favorite line used to be when interacting with my audiences, and they were all types of people, all right? I used to say, if you want to look at a good urban property investment decision, whatever else you may do, location, location, location. And I used to add, if you want development in your country, and I've said this many times, so there's no originality in what I'm going to say, education, education, education. So the second remarkable feature I found about these awards is that many of these awards were education and children related. And I'm telling you, whether it's the young lady from the Northeast who is dealing with migration and safe migration, unsafe migration, ultimately it affects human lives. And then so one of the other award winners, you're taking those kids at this duo which came here, and you're giving them education, and that is what will ultimately determine the success rate. Why? Let me tell you. Today, our mean age should be what, Rasal? 29 years of age. We've got a demographic advantage. We've gone from a $2 trillion economy to a $4.3 trillion economy. The way we've unleashed the forces today, if you're looking at numbers, I can rattle off, whether it's Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, whether it's the number of airports, whether it is the amount of metro line kilometerage, all that figures are there. The fact that you are growing in the last quarter at 7.8%, it's a different thing. Another young guy described it as a dead economy, but I'll let that one pass. 7.8% in that quarter, 7.4% in the previous quarter. And S&P, I was doing an event with them yesterday, I think. Was it today or yesterday? I forget, I do so many events. And those guys upgraded us after 18 years. So there's something remarkable happening in the economy in terms of unleashing the forces of enterprise, change, innovators. But where does the change come from? That is what these awards are all about. Now, I know I've now, from being a civil servant, I've ended up being more a, give a guy a mic, a politician, he'll go on. But I have a few interesting things to share with you. One, as a student of continuity and change, and that's what life is all about, many of us live through the changes that are taking place. We live through the continuity that is there, and we're not able to discern what is the continuum and where is the change coming from. So when you honor change makers, you're actually getting into that process and saying, hey, this is it. I liked what that young IAS officer said. I asked her which batch she is from, and that also reminded me how old I am. She said she's 2018 batch, and by 2018 batch, I'd already served the Foreign Service for 39 years. I'd already done 4 years of international think tanking, and by 2018, I'd also become a councillor minister. So you want to see what batch I am and how much is the age difference. But she said something intelligent. She said, I honor all those who went before me. She said, I honor my predecessors and all of those who discovered Araku coffee. I have been posted in countries where coffee drinking is a fine art. If you go to Brazil and to Colombia, they drink coffee with a heavy sediment. Little guys like me can't take it. I drink good, little 1 teaspoon and lots of hot water. But today, do you know the kind of price that coffee demands? Do you know the kind of exotic value that is? Somebody has pointed it out. And today, for somebody to... She also said nice things about people in power. She'll go very far in life. That I want to compliment her also on. No, but that's a joke. I mean, the people she was praising are also friends of mine, so it's okay. Now, I want to come to, I could go on about each award category. My guys had written to me big notes about last year's award categories, thinking that, we are honoring last year's. They should realize that every year you have new awardees. So anyway,